If you grew up in the 60s or 70s, you definitely remember this: whipped Ivory soap snow. Your grandma or your mom probably whipped it up with a mixer, spread it on logs, stuck it on figurines, and it was sprinkled with glitter. I have the best recipe today, and I'm going to recreate it and make some beautiful snow with some Ivory soap. Let's get started. To make our Ivory soap snow, of course, you're going to need Ivory soap. It does not work well with any other soap other than Ivory, and that's because of the chemistry of the soap. When they make it, they whip it with air, and I don't know the chemistry behind it, but that's how it works. You're going to need a little bit of cornstarch, a little bit of white glue, and a grater if you don't have a microwave, and a mixer. Back in the day, of course, there were no microwaves, so they used a grater, and it works fine. You can just grate your soap and use 1 bar to start with. This is what it looks like, of course, and just grate the whole bar. Or if you have a microwave, put it in a dish. We're going to do 2 bars. No, we better do 1 bar because you're going to see the magical part of this is pretty cool. We're going to put 1 bar in a dish. We're going to take it up to the microwave, and we're going to microwave it for 60 to 90 seconds. Okay, so we did about 2.5 minutes in the microwave. We've let it cool. It gets really hot, so you have to be careful. So after you take it out of the microwave, set it aside, let it cool. And then all you're gonna do is you're going to take it and just crumble it up. And you've got all of this crumbly soap. Make sure you don't cook it too much because it will burn on the inside. So I'm gonna crumble this up. And if you are interested in just doing it the old-fashioned way, I'm going to show you how to do that. I've got 1 grated bar of the Ivory soap, and you're just going to add, I got 1/4 cup of water. We're going to add it slowly. I'm probably going to add about half of that. And then take your mixer. Is this going to work? We're going to make it work. I might have to get an extension cord. And just on slow, just slowly start to whip it. I'm going to add a bit more water. And we're going to add that last little bit. So that's 1/4 cup of water. Now you're just going to keep mixing this until it gets nice and fluffy. It's going to take 2 or 3 minutes. So we'll be back when I have it all whipped up. Okay, so here's the difference between the two. This is the whipped. It's kind of almost like a Cool Whip whipping cream texture, and this is the microwave. I actually prefer the microwave better. I find when you make up the recipe, it kind of gives more of that authentic snow look, but whatever, you can try both recipes and see what works for you. Okay, so now what we want to do is, I think I'm going to go and mix both of these together because I don't want to waste it. So we're going to scrunch all of this up really well so it's nice and small snow texture. And then we're going to pour it into this bowl. Okay, it's all ready to pour in. We're going to incorporate them both together. Mix them up. Stir them together. Now we're ready to add some glue and some cornstarch. We're going to add, where did I put my, oh goodness, this is empty. Okay, I'll be back. I got another full jar. We have cornstarch. We're going to start off with 2 tablespoons of cornstarch. If you're using only 1 bar, then you just cut the recipe in half. We've got 2 bars in here. We're going to use 2 tablespoons of white school glue. I got a little spatula here. And just mix it together. If you're finding that it's really thick, this is a little bit thick, then you can just add water really slowly until you get the texture that you want. I think I'm going to add just a little bit of water. Okay, now you can go back to the mixer and mix it up really well. We're going to plug this in. Why didn't I grab an extension cord? Because I like to struggle. Everything I like to do is a struggle down here. There we go. It's really thick, so we're going to add a little bit more water. You can see how nice and crisp and white it is. I love it. We're going to add the last of that 1/4 cup of water. Okay, back in the day, they probably didn't use the cornstarch and the glue, but I like to incorporate it into my recipe. The glue helps it stick to your project, and the cornstarch, it just kind of gives it that matte, kind of snowy, fluffy texture. Fool around with the recipe and see what you like. I also don't like adding too much water and giving it that creamy look. Again, it doesn't look like snow. I like it when it's just kind of like this and just kind of chunky. When you put it on your projects, it looks more authentic. Now at this stage of the recipe, you can add some glitter if you want, some mica powder, some Epsom salt if you want a little bit of sparkle, or just leave it as be and just use it as the white. I like to get in with my hands and do it mucky. When you're using a spatula to apply it, it just doesn't look natural. So I actually put it in my hands and just kind of like smear it around and then just tap it where you want it. And you can see how it kind of doesn't go on lumpy and clumpy. You can kind of control it a little bit more. Put it on your leaves. You can get some more. You can see how this 2 bars is going to go a long, long way. And just kind of press it in. So it just looks like snow has just kind of fallen on your leaves or your pine cones. You can do this on branches. And it's that simple. I smell this and it takes me right back to my grandma's house. You know how smells kind of trigger memories? I have 2 smells. One is Ivory soap and the other one is Noxzema skin cream. My grandma always used it. It was always on her bedside table. And those smells just take me back to my childhood. This is really triggering a lot of really fun memories with my grandma and grandpa. So I'm just going to work away, just kind of add this, and we'll be back when it's all done. I think this looks beautiful, and it looks as authentic can for fake snow. I really love it. Now, if you want to seal it up even more, if you're maybe doing ornaments or you're doing gingerbread houses and you want it to really stick and be maybe a little bit more permanent, use polyacrylic spray, water-based in a matte or a gloss, whatever kind of finishing coat you want, but that will seal everything up and make sure that it really sticks. So, and that's how you make whipped ivory soap snow, just like those cozy Christmases from way back when. I remember my grandma making it lots. If this brought back memories for you, then stay a while. I picked something lovely for the next video. Just click here and keep crafting with me. Thanks for watching.